is changing. It is our responsibility to adapt ourselves and leave a brighter future for the coming generations. As Karsan, we are aware of our responsibility. With this awareness and with the guidance of our well-established paths and values, we are implementing pioneering projects which make difference. We are aware of limited natural resources and the harm that is done to the nature. With all our energy and know-how, we are eagerly taking the essential steps for a sustainable ecosystem. We make our investments today by pioneering the transformation of electric and autonomous vehicle technologies, which are the first steps of a brighter future. We are ready for tomorrow with our innovative vision of transportation solutions. With creative solutions for different needs, we are proud to bring technologies of the future all around the globe. Inspired by you, we design the future. The future begins with us, right here, right now.
Gentlemen, welcome to Karsan's Bursa facility. Today, we're going to be talking about the relationship between human being and artificial intelligence, the technologies of today and tomorrow, being good and being courageous. My name is Cenk Doğar. I am very happy, excited, honored, and glad to be a part of this event where we'll be defining the future of vehicle utilization. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are broadcasting our event today, but I believe in the very near future we will be back together holding events face-to-face again. In a minute, we will welcome Karsan CEO Mr. Okan Baş to talk about Karsan's current place in the world and how it's proceeding into the future. But before, I would like to congratulate this family, which persisted through the global restrictive COVID-19 and became even more attached to their work and more passionate for it. Currently, we are broadcasting from Karsan's Bursa facility, which is established on 200,000 square meters of land, 90,000 of which is indoors. Here can be produced 180 ready-to-use vehicles per day. And this is all made possible by its 1,100 personnel working in impeccable harmony, despite strict COVID-19 restrictions. I think at this point we could say, being a good team, being enthusiastic, being fully invested in your work, believing in what you do and doing it with care should be the key to real success. Thanks to its corporate structure, this team has become a strong and forward-thinking family which can always take necessary actions in a designated time frame. Therefore, it is actually no surprise that they have planned their future, established their scenarios, and working through it all, they've become the leaders of the industry. In a time where user habits change so frequently, it is such a serious achievement to meet success and furthermore, maintaining it so. Ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to have any questions during our event today, please do not hesitate to write them down below in the chat box, and we'll be very happy to answer at the end of the event as time allows. So, without further ado, I would like to invite our CEO, Mr. Okan Baş. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for the outstanding introduction, Cenk. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. I must admit, this is a hilarious plant. And I am very, very, very inspired by your facility here and also the professionality of your team.
Thank you very much, Cenk.
As a person who is on stage all the time in cooperation with different brands, I can comfortably say you are ahead of time.
Thank you again, Cenk.
With that, before you start your words, sir, I would like to invite Dr. Ali Ufuk Peker also.
Hi.
Sir, thank you very much for joining us. It's very valuable having you here as our strategic partner in this valuable day.
Thank you.
Okay. So, we can take our seats, right?
Thank you.
So, Mr. Bush, I can't bear waiting longer to hear the story behind.
Cenk, once again, thank you for your outstanding introduction, and I'm really very happy to be with you, and I will try to give the best wishes to all the audience that are in front of their screens. First, I would like to express that it's a very big honor and joy that we are all together today. So, welcome to online launch event of Autonomous Atak Electric, the technology of the future. I sincerely hope that you and your families are in good health. Before getting to the details for the self-driving Autonomous Atak Electric technology, I would like to mention first what has been going on in the automotive industry, which is itself in a transformation period due to the also pandemic. A serious change has been taking place in the industry. As you all know, we are now in a period where technology companies, quite the newcomers to the automotive industry, are now major players. The COVID pandemic, which started taking real effect by March 2020 last year, has affected everybody, globally, all the economy, and naturally, the automotive industry. It gave us bitter memories in many aspects and forced us to quickly adapt to the different conditions of today. For example, our lives have become more intertwined with mobility and convenience technologies. The pandemic also increased our awareness towards the struggle against climate change. Since the onset of the pandemic, many people have realized that climate change is a real threat to be reckoned with. Once again, we understood the value of creating and maintaining clean air. I would like to start with the reasons of this transformation to the automotive world. As we look at the researches, the urbanization rate of the world population is today 50%. But this figure in the next 10 to 20 to 30 years will increase up to 70%. So this brings up a requirement of different solutions in cities at individual and also in public level. Rapid urbanization will cause traffic congestion, which in turn will increase the time in the traffic, lost time in the traffic. According to a research by World Health Organization, approximately 90% of the traffic accidents in the world are caused by human drivers. We lose more than 1 million people's lives in these accidents every year. This is a huge number. It is therefore an inevitable requirement to utilize the technological means at hand as safety measures. On the other hand, supply processes which are adjusted to the increasing demand are leaving irreversible damage to the nature. In order to minimize this damage, various studies are being done, carried out in all parts of the world, in order to emphasize the importance of natural resources and renewable energy. Every one of us has a duty to reduce his or her carbon footprint to be able to leave a cleaner world for the next generations, for the future generations. Moving on to the automotive industry, the demand for vehicles working on fossil fuel is now decreasing. Fossil fuel is one of the most important causes of environmental pollution, as you know. The trend towards environmentally friendly, silent, and technological electric vehicles is rapidly increasing in those 3 years, thanks also to the technologies behind. The transformation to electric vehicles is also playing a major role in this ever-developing mass transport network around the world, which we see and observe very closely. The interest in private vehicle ownership is, on the other hand, expectedly is decreasing. Why is that? The increasing city traffic has brought with itself the parking space problem. And I would spend a lot of time in traffic just to get from one place to another. With the parking place problems, the time goes double. When you factor in your financial investment, on the other hand, it turns out to be a huge investment for a vehicle to own, buy, which you only use only 5% of its capacity. This is another issue that's affecting the change. The new generation isn't willing to pay for this financial burden either. And thus, the mobility solutions of our age, such as Uber and Lyft or mass transport, is getting more popular. The interest in bicycles, electric scooters, car rentals, shared vehicles are also increasing because of these reasons. Technology is really developing very fast and rapid in parallel to the newly emerging requirements of living. These technologies, such as sensors, software, are now also being incorporated into the vehicles. Now, utilization of these technologies is also encouraged by the national policies and by the local political environment. For example, advanced driver guidance systems, which are the entry level of autonomous vehicles, are now becoming mandatory for commercial vehicles to be produced in the United States of America as of this year, and also in Europe by 2023, which is 2 years from now, which is just ahead of us. With all these, there are 5 main technology tendencies which are currently trending in the automotive world. First is the electric vehicle transformation. Another is shared use, especially for the new generation, as we talked before, who do not aspire to own a vehicle or do not want to lose time in the traffic. This is becoming more and more common to share the mobility use. In this sense, we see many implementations such as Uber and Lyft. A number of changes have taken place in the product technologies, modular designs, with which vehicles of different sizes can be derived from. This is also encouraged by electric vehicle structure. And these are also becoming widely preferred, and it's also giving ease to the designers and the producers of the automotive industry. Of course, the most important developments are autonomous and connected vehicles. In parallel with the transition to electric vehicles, it is very obvious that autonomous vehicles will take a larger place in our lives thanks to the investments and the new technologies that has been gained in the sensor technologies and the softwares. On the other hand, We project that connected vehicles will quickly take place in our lives. It's not just the driver. Other vehicles, traffic systems, and connected vehicles which communicate with the entire transportation network will soon be widespread around us. As Karsan, we follow all these trends very closely. Among these trends, we've talked about the 5 different trends. Our main focus is on 2 of them: electric vehicle conversion and the autonomous technologies. Today, around the world, globally, annually, 80 million vehicles are sold. Looking at the last year's data, only last year, 2 million of this 80 million has been electric. So we are at the very beginning of this transformation in the world. But the speed of this transformation will increase rapidly in the coming years, as you all know. By 2030, the market will be assumed to be 100 million units. And more than 30% of this new transportation means market will be of electric vehicles, which is more than tenfold of today's numbers. In this area, the USA, some Asian countries, and Northern Europe continue to lead the transformation after China. Now let's focus to our business. What is happening in the bus market? The market, as we all know, is led by China. China, in the last recent years, changed entire bus fleets to electric. And they even started to renew their vehicles, the electric vehicles, with the 2nd generation. So China is ahead in terms of market entry of this new transformation. On the other hand, in Europe and the USA, the transition to the electric buses has just begun gaining momentum. As we all know, various incentives are applied for accelerating this transformation and for greener public transport around us. New policies are issued and it's getting in function day by day. For example, goals are now set in Europe in metropolitan areas such as big cities of Paris, London, and Hamburg for new purchases to target completely zero-emission public transportation vehicles.
Can I stop you there for a moment? I must remind our viewers, instead of using a studio, a professional studio, we wanted to have this show in our factory, in our facility, which we're very proud of in Bursa. That's why you can hear some industrial noise. Please consider this as a part of the show.
Thank you, Jan, for the intervention.
We wanted to do it in this facility, right?
Yes, we are really...
sound of production.
That's the sound of production.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a different sound, but it's really giving encouragement and joy to me. That's what I should underline.
Please carry on.
So as I was saying, the big cities are already in the transformation phase, and the new policies are being entered for increasing the momentum of this transformation. So there are country-based different incentive schemes all around Europe, which are coming into force within this year. As Karsan, we are not only keeping abreast all these developments regarding electric buses. We lead this transformation with our products. As Karsan, we shared with you all the developments we have made in this field in the last 3 years. When I go back 3 years to 2018, it was our first year when we opened the window for this new technology. While many well-established automotive manufacturers were still at the prototype stage in Europe, we made our electric public transportation vehicles ready for mass production in a short period of 1 year. In this journey, we went to a strategic partnership with BMW, the world giant, which has proven itself in battery and e-motor systems in its technologies. As you recall, before the end of 2018, it was November 2018, we launched our first electric minibus, which is Jest, which is powered by BMW. Immediately after this, in less than 1 year later, in June 2019, we presented Atak Electric model to the world at the same place in Germany at BMW premises. Although it has been a very short time since the launch of these two electric vehicles, we made a very good progress, and we have been experienced, and close to 200 sales has been done, and it's running around the world, especially in the European countries. In the short period of time, both of our electric models proved themselves by traveling 1 million kilometers in all these countries. And I would like to underline another fact, that the uptime efficiency level is above 95%. This is also something I should underline. In fact, with all these developments, I would say our main target has always been autonomous vehicles. As Karsan, we consider electric vehicles, such as Atak Electric, as an intermediate stop. The final goal has been autonomous from the beginning. The self-driving autonomous Atak Electric, which you can see here today, was our main focus, and now it has become a reality. From day one, we have planned it with this purpose in our minds. We have prepared our electric vehicles as a stepping stone for self-driving vehicles. Every product we will launch from now on will be level 4 autonomous compatible. It will be possible to adapt them to all level 4 autonomous features in a short time, because we will make them all ready for this implementation, autonomous implementation. Autonomous levels are known by everyone now. Just as a summary, in autonomous level 0, all control and decision mechanism belongs to the driver. The higher the levels get, the higher the vehicle's ability gets to move independently from the driver, more away from the driver. For example, when in level 3, the driver is only responsible for watching the road, while the vehicle can perform most functions by its own. When it's come to real autonomy, the level should be 4 by minimum. At this level, the vehicle can move without a driver at a certain speed, on a defined route, or within an area where there's a type of control. A driver is necessary for safety purposes only in emergency cases. However, there is also the option to use the vehicle without a driver on certain routes with a special permission. When it comes to level 5, it refers to vehicles that do not require any driver under any circumstances, and are also able to go outside the defined zone. It can travel anywhere without the driver. Driver expenses, on the other hand, makes a minimum of 50% of the operating cost of the public transportation operators across Europe. It's also similar numbers for USA, I suppose. Therefore, operators are quite interested in self-driving buses. In addition, unlike passenger cars in public transportation, buses do not normally go out of a certain route. Factors such as familiarity with and controllability of road and traffic conditions enable autonomous solutions to be applied more easily. In this sense, Level 4 allows for a drive without a driver to meet public transportation needs. So, Level 4 is really very optimum for public transportation needs. Naturally, issues such as regulations and insurance must be clarified for this purpose. Unlike passenger cars, public transportation vehicles have certain routes, as we all know. So they don't move independently. Even today, the public transportation is within defined routes. They always shuttle within a specific area. The needs and motion range of both the passenger and the vehicle are based on a certain plan. Therefore, we expect the autonomous transformation to be much faster for public transportation with respect to passenger cars. We believe that autonomous transformation will progress around 15 to 20 years ahead of public transportation vehicles. Because these vehicles enable a significant fuel economy by fully operating on electric first. They offer remarkable cost savings to operators thanks to their ability to move without drivers. So, we want to be the pioneer running in the forefront in this rapid autonomous transformation. As Karsan, we have made future investments and will keep doing so. As the first product of such investments, we developed the self-driving autonomous Atak Electric. And now, here's the eagerly awaited autonomous Atak Electric.
When it comes to embracing technology, you need to be ready. Ready and dare to transform yourself, starting from your deepest roots. And those roots will guide you through the journey of innovation and make technological dreams come true. Having the strength from our electric buses traveling millions of kilometers. As Karsan, we are now ready to go autonomous in this stage of our journey. Increasing population, expanding requirements of cities and human beings will inevitably transform urban transportation. Envisioning safe and smart cities of future, we rapidly embrace each phase of technological breakthrough. With Autonomous Atak Electric and many more to come, we continue to pave the way to the city of tomorrow. Get ready to take the next step to future's technology with Autonomous Atak Electric.
Only wow. I mean, that is really impressive. Can you tell us a little more about Atak Electric? I mean, Autonomous Atak Electric, obviously.
Of course. I mean, it's a really very emotional moment for me because we have been waiting for this moment for the last 3 years. It has been our dream from the beginning. As I was saying, the electric vehicle, to make our buses electric first was an intermediate step. And our main objective was to always to reach our vehicles to be autonomous, and our first baby is Atak. So this is really very emotional and proud moment for me. So, just a brief summary of Atak Electric. Atak Electric was the basis of our autonomous, and it's our first autonomous vehicle. It is born as a low-floor transformation vehicle to transport passengers in the public transportation business. It's a mid-size bus, and it's as a natural-born bus, because the bus is designed according to the needs of the customers from the beginning. It's not a transformation, it's not something that we use a ready platform to put, but it's born as low floor, low entry, and also capable of getting also the handicapped people inside with ease, etc. So we created difference also in our self-driving vehicle thanks to many superior features of Atak Electric. Atak Electric, from the beginning, is a superior product for the customer needs, and with its autonomous features now, it's even further to the objective of our dream of last year. In short, it's an 8-meter size bus. We chose Atak Electric because the demand for autonomy in public transportation is currently focused on pilot projects, and they are mainly small vehicles, up to 5 meters. So from this point of view, there is no autonomous vehicle with a real bus size. And we saw an opportunity in this field in the market and took action accordingly. That's how we come to Atak Electric Autonomous. The length is 8.3 meters. It's electric, and it's first we will see these buses in Europe. Currently, there is no other company in Europe producing level 4 autonomous vehicles of this size. In this respect, I must say that we have achieved a first mover advantage in Europe. That's how I look at Atak Electric Autonomous. Thanks to its dimensions, we offer an ambitious passenger capacity of 52 people. With its large and spacious interior space, Autonomous Atak Electric promises a real self-driving vehicle experience. We had said that the step before autonomy was the development of electric vehicles. Our partner, I would like to thank also our partner in electrification, is BMW. It provides the best range in its class with its 300 kilometers of autonomy. Thus, we meet all the needs of users for the daily route of vehicle on a single charge. So Atak Electric is a perfect fit for the business, for the urban transportation.
What about the autonomous technology? I mean, how did you manage to produce a vehicle that drives itself?
Thank you, Cenk. This is, has been done in the last 1 year. But why in this very short time? Because it was, as I was saying, when it was born 3 years ago, it was born to be adapted to autonomous. So this is why we were so fast in applying the autonomous technology. So autonomous vehicles do not need a human factor thanks to the automatic control system equipment that we put on the vehicle. By this way, they can perceive the road, the traffic and environmental conditions, and move on their own with the reality around itself. For this purpose, firstly, we made the steering system, e-motor and brake systems, controllable with electronic systems without a mechanical connection, which we call drive-by-wire. The next stage was the sensors and software that we integrated into the vehicle. The vehicle has many technological equipment of today, such as LiDARs, radars, GNSS, RGB cameras, and thermal cameras. It would be right to say that each of these sensors and equipment serves as the eyes and ears of the vehicle, even better than human eyes. All sensors perceive the external environment in different ways and complement each other. The software included in the Autonomous Atak Electric, on the other hand, manages all commands like the brain of the vehicle. For example, while changing lanes, Autonomous Atak Electric can detect a motorcyclist who is in the blind spot and cannot be seen with human eyes. Or it can detect a speed bump at a close or a far distance, or a vehicle's speed early, and it can reduce its speed accordingly. It can identify if the object around it is a living or non-living thing. In intense light or foggy weather, it can recognize pedestrians that cannot be detected even with human eyes. It can identify the surrounding signs of traffic lights. It can detect the position of a vehicle precisely. Our autonomous technology manages many more complex situations like this smartly. And all these systems communicate with each other accurately and manage the movement of vehicle. Autonomous Atak Electric has a level 4 autonomous driving feature. Our level 4 driving vehicle can move on a planned road, such as a university or technology campus. If desired, it can be driven on urban shuttle routes with real traffic conditions. In these cases, initially, there will be a driver for security purposes to enable regulations. But once the regulations are defined, the vehicle can be driven without any driver. In addition, our vehicle can operate day or night in fully autonomous conditions. Even in rainy and snowy weather conditions, it can be used at a speed of up to 50 kilometers all year round. Autonomous Atak Electric is able to approach stops on the road by itself. It can control the get-on, get-off processes of its own. It can provide guidance and control at intersections, crossings, as well as traffic lights. It can also be guided by central control, staying in constant communication with the operation and task management systems. For example, if the road is closed due to road construction works, the vehicle can be centrally switched to manual driving mode and guided to continue on an alternative road. So let's take a look at the drive experience of the self-driving bus together.
Impressive. I mean, I bet you've been watching this film like over and over again, and every time you must feel so proud.
It's a big issue, and I'm very proud of it.
Did you develop the technology internally in Karsan?
I would say it's not easy to develop such a big new technology by itself, and to complete this autonomic transformation on its own in terms of both investments and competence. Even the largest OEMs today receive support from many startups or technology companies. In this sense, we cooperate with companies such as Auster, NVIDIA, Amazon for the needs of hardware, cloud, simulation, platform, and organization. However, I would like to mention our greatest supporter in this project. Without them, this wouldn't be a reality. The software solution partner of Autonomous Atak Electric is Adastec, which is an expert company in its field and is based in California, USA, the heart of the technology. Adastec has supported the rapid implementation of this project with a startup spirit. That's how we have realized this into a reality.
Dr. Ali Ufuk Peker is the CEO of Adastec. He's with us today. Thanks for coming. You're a very valuable partner for us, a strategic partner. So I think it would be best to ask you at this point the story behind the technology.
Yes, thank you very much. And as Mr. Bash explained, we have very important hardware components on the bus, and our technology is the software technology which enables the vehicle perform its mission along a predefined route. With the level 4 autonomous software driving platform that we provide together with Karsan, this software basically consists of 5 important modules. The first one is the localization, where the vehicle finds itself in the world in centimeter level accuracy. Secondly, it detects and classifies the objects around the vehicle, such as pedestrians, vehicles, motorcycles, bicycles, and then it predicts where they're going to be in the next time frame. So it makes a prediction. With that, it can understand the path, it can follow, and creates a feasible control to be sent to the vehicle where the vehicle performs this route with its by-wire technology. Of course, it seems like a long procedure, but vehicle can do this 20 times per second, so that much faster than a human control. Wow. But other than the sensors, we have a lot of data that is incorporated to the vehicle, such as HD maps. It is the definition of the world around the vehicle in 3D. It's not the only data that we use. We also have photorealistic simulation content of the road, where we can generate adverse weather conditions, difficult scenarios around the vehicle, so that we can test the vehicle specifically to the route well before the deployment. Before we go to the field, we produce this content together with Karsan for each and every route that we're gonna deploy the bus.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for this explanation. I mean, I'm a simple stage personality, so listening to you was a very futuristic explanation for me, in experience, actually. Mr. Bash, I would like to ask you, I mean, yes, it is futuristic. Yes, it is fascinating. But, I mean, producing those buses, apart from being futuristic and fascinating, what are the actual advantages of using an autonomous vehicle?
Yeah, during the presentation I have talked about some of these, but one of the issues is that when a user owns an autonomous vehicle, they will initially save at least 50% of a driver cost item, according to our basic calculations. Second one is 90% of accidents caused by drivers will not happen, will be prevented. 3, a service structure that can be operated continuously for 24 hours will be achieved. So it can operate 24 hours non-stop, with some recharging intervals, of course, when needed. 4, electric power inherently leads to much less consumption than diesel. Moreover, it contributes to the environment with zero emissions. With today's reality of climate change, I think this is the item that is one of the top issues that everybody is dealing with. With autonomous control, an additional 10% lower consumption value is created compared to human use. Thanks to its dimensions, the Autonomous Atak Electric offers 6 times the passenger capacity compared to the small size models in the market, because the ones in the markets are smaller size. In terms of capacity, when I compared Atak Electric Autonomous with these, it's 6 times more. It is the first level 4 autonomous bus in Europe that is ready for use in the size of a real bus. It can be used in all weather road and traffic conditions along its entire journey.
Right. Thank you very much for this enlightening show, let's say. I mean, this was very simple, very understandable, very fascinating, very impressive. If you remember, we asked our viewers to ask us some questions regarding your presentation, and my colleagues have just handed me in some questions, and now I'd like to address them to you, sir. So actually, when I scrolled through, I see that you actually answered most of them, but maybe you would like to go into details, so I will ask them anyway. So, has serial production started yet in Autonomous Atak, or is this one produced for an order?
One of the most important issue that we are doing this as a global launch is we are ready for serial production of this vehicle. Meaning serial production, the one we are showing here is already sold to Romania. And the second one is already on the line for United States of America. So we can say that, in short, we are producing this in serial mode. Of course, when we get the order, we can make it happen in 5 months. Sorry, 5 years is not.
5 months. 5 years is a little long. I mean.
That is actually 1 month more than the Atak Electric. For example, we can deliver Atak Electric in 4 months, but Autonomous Atak Electric in roughly 5 months. This additional 1 month is needed
for testing, probably.
For the customization of the product according to the need. So we have to go to where it's going to be running the fixed route, we have to know it, and we have to prepare the vehicle, make the people understand where it's going to be running, etc., etc. So we need 1 more month to customize the vehicle for the needs of the operation.
Okay. Karsan produces different classes of buses. You have Jesti, you have Star, you have Atak. But why did you choose, actually you answered this already, but I want to ask it again. Why did you pick Atak as a class to produce autonomous vehicles?
When we looked at the market, in the market there are some, of course, some vehicles, but the length is 5 meters. And when we made a search, we understand that a bigger size bus would fit perfectly to the customer needs, and that's how we chose Atak Electric. We had also 6-meter Jest, but we chose 8-meter Atak to be our first autonomous vehicle. And we see that it's really has been the best choice for us according to the needs of the customer.
Is it for today or for now, or will you eventually produce in the other classes too?
Of course, as I said during the presentation, our first intermediate goal is to make all our range electric. And with 6 meters and 8 meters, our 2 vehicles are, and this procedure is going on. We will have all our buses, the bigger buses, electric in the near future. But we started with autonomous target with Atak. It was our first vehicle. All the other buses that we produced and we will be producing will be autonomous at the end. So because we believe that urban transportation, public transportation needs autonomous vehicles in the near future, because it's perfectly fitting the needs of the market.
Okay, I have a question in hand. Actually, you answered this a couple of times about the commissioning process. I mean, if we place an order today, when will we receive the Atak Autonomous? But you said 5 months.
5 months, yes. Roughly 5 months, because we need 4 months for the base vehicle, Atak electric vehicles, and for the autonomous, for the transformation of the electric vehicle to the autonomous version, we need 1 more study in the area to be operated, as I was saying before. So it's roughly 5 months, but it's, of course, depending on the needs of the customer.
All right. So a very interesting question I have here. Is there a version of Autonomous Atak Electric model developed for the right-hand drive countries such as England?
We don't have it yet available, but we will be searching also the needs of the right-hand drive countries like UK, and we will be planning this in the very near future, I would say.
Okay. There is this question that I would expect to come, and actually it's indeed asked a couple of times. What would be the selling price of Autonomous Atak?
Yeah, this is normally the hottest point of launch events,
isn't it?
And yeah, I was expecting this normally, but I would say Atak Electric Autonomous Atak Electric doesn't have a fixed price, because it's projected from the beginning of the order according to the needs of the customer. So this needs to make an evaluation according to the operation needs, etc. After the study, the price will be discussed project-based with the customer and agreed upon.
No,
So,
I guess it's also about the quantity.
yes, of course.
Isn't
quantity is
it?
also-
Okay, well, I think this question goes for Mr. Peker. If there is an obstacle in the traffic, I mean, I guess our guest means here regulatory obstacle rather than physical ones.
Yeah, we are hearing a lot of questions about both physical obstacles and regulatory obstacles as well. Normally, these vehicles in the world operated with a specific permit now. So you have a route, the authority gives you a specific permit, and you have a specific insurance, and you do it specifically for the route. But we expect that there are a lot of studies, which we are also involved. They're preparing new laws, new insurance policies for these deployments, and the governments in Europe, in Turkey, in USA are preparing new set of rules for operating this kind of vehicles. Especially in United States, California and Michigan is ahead a little bit on this kind of works. They already given permit for driving in several routes for testing purposes. They even give some specific permissions for without driver tests, and we will have one in Michigan, so we will be able to do it in Michigan, so it's also a very nice thing for us. So we expect that this kind of local solutions will become more global in the near future, and as the technology advances, I assume that the regulatory rules and regulations will be in a better condition for deployment of such buses.
I would add to Ali, Autonomous Atak Electric has a different mission in this purpose, because it's going to be used in the regulatory studies determination process in USA.
Wow. Yeah,
so
we
this
will
is
do that.
something also making us very proud of.
But we also have an advantage here. This vehicle is already homologated, so we will do an incremental work for the software part.
Yes.
So in that sense, we are also in a very good position compared to ground-off small vehicles, which are not driven basically in a highway. This can be driven anywhere. Normally, the base technology, Atak Electric, is already been sold hundreds. So we have an advantage over there also in regulatory aspects.
Thank you. You talked about the cost of driver, which is 50%, but you're also talking about a driver-driven solution. I mean, don't you think it's a contradiction, asks our viewer.
It's not actually a real driver, let's say, that it's only an aid. It's not totally a driver cost that we're talking about. So the cost advantage is still there. You don't need an expert and full cost driver for your purposes in level 4.
Okay.
And also, you know, we can remove the driver with the specific permission, so that we will reduce the need for the driver eventually. Time. So most of the time. So the safety driver is mostly for regulations now, to be testing for the testing purposes.
And as the regulations evolve, that's going to be evolved in the next maybe some months and years. This need of driver will be less and less, and at the end it will be only a safety issue for a specific determined time of the period that's going to be used. So
you mentioned, I remember it's 89.5% reducing the risk of accidents. That's exactly. That's an incredible number. So there's this question that I ask myself all the time too, but actually ever since we started talking about autonomous technologies, this question has risen within the public. So it's about safety. So in an event of a collision, if there is an old man on one side and 3 children on the other side, how will the vehicle respond?
We are getting this question a lot, but really it doesn't have a part in the technology. Since to come in such a situation, you need to break some rules. But our autonomous technology doesn't break rules. Always follows the required distances, always obeys the traffic laws, always goes slowly to the crosswalks. So there is no line of code which selects where to collide or what. Our system always are in the safe side. So this is not a normal driver. It doesn't assume something will not happen. It always goes safely. It will always detect the pedestrians around. If there is a small possibility that that pedestrian will come along to the road, it will slow down and it will allow the pedestrians pass by.
Thank you. I would like to thank to our viewers for their valuable contribution with the questions they've asked. It really meant a lot to us. So, thank you very much for being so kind. You can stay seated, no problem. I mean.
Okay, we can.
And yeah, thank you very much for being so kind, for being so, for sparing your time for us. It was a fascinating day, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful journey with Autonomous Atak Electric here in Bursa factory. And for now, you can only see Autonomous Atak Electric here through your screens. But I assure you, soon we will all be getting to work by one of those wonderful buses, won't we? I would like to thank to Mr. Bash and Mr. Peker on behalf of our viewers for sparing their time for us, for their wonderful presentation and sincere explanations. And we would like to thank you for your our precious participants for sharing this excitement with us today. And we get to know the future technology, driverless autonomous Atak Electric, closely today. So we are hoping to see you on healthier days. Goodbye.
Thank you.